What's up guys, and welcome back to the Generation Works YouTube channel. Today we're going to be installing an Airdog lift pump on my 2002 GMC 2500 Duramax. Here it is right here. And you may be wondering, why is everything dirty already, blah blah blah. Well, I bought this unit used, so before all the hate comes, blah blah blah, oh, you're getting rid of the warranty, blah 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 blah. Well, I got this for a smoking deal, and the guy was cool about it and said if something ever happens, you know, I can contact him and then he'll get the warranty information for me that I need. But it came with everything I need. Here's the thing that you put in between I'll show you here. You cut this and then you put that on there and clamp both ends, and that's your return. That's the return for this. It spits it back into there. And then all the wiring, I have some of the wiring laid out here. Here's my positive, negative, the battery. The main relay is right here. There's my fuse tap, and other than that, that's really all you need. Those three things. But it also gives you a thing for you can put a light up in your dash to make sure you know when it's on. And there's also a connection that's already been covered up here. I'll probably recover that up. But it's for a pressure switch, so you can see how much pressure, or you can see that the pump is on, and if it's working right, if it's working the way it needs to be. And then here's your main connector for the actual lift pump. So I laid it out here, and I have more than enough wire here because I have just the extended cab short bed, so my truck's not super long. As you can see, I have chassis savered my truck. I did a video on that, so I'll put that above here. You can go check that out. It turned out great, looks awesome, looks like a brand new frame again. But it's on jack stands right now, so I figured it'd be easier for me to show you guys me mounting up that lift pump, and for me to get under the truck would be a lot easier. So I figured I'll leave that up until I get it in. And gas tank, or the fuel tank's actually out still, so gotta put that back in. That'll make installing it even easier. But I'll show you guys here. So you're gonna hook the lift pump, unless you do a sump. I'm not doing a sump because I don't want to deal with drilling a hole in the tank and dealing with leaks. Screw all that madness. They say it's just fine to hook your suction up here. That will pull from, the lift pump will pull from here. You basically eliminate this hose. I'll take this hose off, and then it connects from here. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys. Right here, that's where you'll hook the fuel pump. Like after it's ran through the pump, you'll hook that up to here, and then that'll push it to your engine. And then this is your return line, which you'll just keep that the same, keep the factory hose. That's your return line from the engine, so you want to keep that and keep it going back into your tank like normal. Other than that, it's super self-explanatory. I'll show you guys me mounting it up, running some of the wires, wiring it up, and then hopefully by the end of the day I'll have this thing ripping and working well. Hopefully have the truck back up and running. I think the hardest part of the whole thing is going to be probably cutting that neck there, and putting that return thing in there, and then also bleeding the air out of the fuel lines. That's gonna suck, but it's all part of it. But I'm gonna bring you guys along the way, and we're gonna knock this out. Back from installing that Airdog. As you can see, my truck is no longer in the garage, So we got her done. It's the next day. I forgot to film the outro. After I did it all, I was just excited to have it done. Took it on a test drive and just kind of lost track and forgot to film the outro. But I can tell you right now that the engine's quieter, it sounds happier, and the throttle response is so much better. I can't even begin to explain how much better the throttle response is. And I even think it's got a little more get up and go. It just seems happier and runs better. It's cheap insurance for your truck to protect a $2,000 part and your $4,000 injectors. So to spend, I think they're like $765 new for the 165 and about $725 for the Airdog 100. I just did the 165 just in case I decide to do some engine upgrades, but I doubt it. I'm gonna do straight pipe and I'll be done after that. But I'll show you guys here. Camera's about to die, so we're gonna make it quick. But crawl down here. I wanted to mount it on the outside, but buying it used, the hoses weren't quite long enough for me to do that, which I'm perfectly fine with. As you can see, I just mounted it up in the inside the frame. It'll stay cleaner and it'll just be all around better in the inside anyways, but some people like to do it for the looks. I don't know, I don't really care that much as long as the truck's got it. But then I'll show you up here in the hood real quick. So your positive goes in here in this little battery. Let's see if I can pop it open. You can see where I connected it there. And then the relay and ground I did up here on this background. There was nothing there, so I just put the ground and the relay there. Here's all the extra wiring, and then there is, let's see if it'll focus. That's where I put the fuse connector. It is the trying to see which one it is. I think it's this one right here. 4-star, whatever that means. It had a key turn on, so that's what I used. That's not what it recommended me to use. Everything it recommended me to use was turning on, had power all the time. So you don't want that, because you don't want your pump running constantly, drain your battery dead. But then you just run it down the firewall and along the frame rail, and you plug her in and you're good to go. But I'm super happy with the chassis saver. It looks amazing. Go check that video out if you haven't already. But I think the hardest part of this whole thing, suckiest part, was cutting the fuel neck tube right there and putting the return for the Airdog. That was the suckiest part of the whole thing. But super simple. I honestly recommend, unless you're doing like trying to push 800 horse, 900 horse out of these trucks, don't put a sump. You don't need it. There's no need for it. You put it right up to your factory suction tube. There's no need for aftermarket suction tube. The factory one it comes with is plenty big enough, unless you're doing a ton of horsepower. But then you're gonna need a lot more after that. You're gonna need transmission built, all that stuff. So I just recommend stay away from sump. It's easier. It does suck getting the tank unless you pull the bed off. So the bed is 8 bolts and 2 clips, and then it took about 3 people to get the bed off. If you have those resources, just take the bed off. It makes it so much easier. It makes your life a ton easier, and all around makes it go faster. I think you could take the bed off and have everything hooked up just as fast as not taking the bed off. So thank you guys for watching Generation Works, and I'll see you next time. Peace.